we were at Tony Hawk's 50th birthday party, and you came over and you were like, dude, tell me the story about the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, yeah, dude, Talib Kweli brought up that story when he interviewed me the other day.
Amazing.
That story just goes around. It just like makes world tours over and over.
I know, dude, and I'm never look good in that story, dude.
What's the story?
It was okay.
Maybe
It was 2006, the Rock the Bells Festival, which is like a big rap festival headlined by the Wu-Tang Clan. And I show up, I'm just drinking all day, I'm out of my mind, and I've just recently dialed in. You know, I do this the double back where I'm flip back and forth, and it's a mangina. But I just got dialed in the double back flip. So I'll flip my balls into a mangina and then do a standing back flip.
Yeah.
And like, so they're gonna have an ODB tribute. This 3 years after ODB died, 2 years. And I go up to Method Man. I'm like, dude, I got it. During the ODB tribute, I'm going to get butt naked. I'm going to flip my balls back. I'm going to do a standing back flip. And he's like laughing. He's like, you know. And then a little while later, he comes up and goes, dude, you can't do it, man. They're going to fuck you up. And I go, cool, man. That's what ODB would want, dude. He'd love that. Yeah, fucking rad. So, like, during the ODB tribute, like, I remember Method Man wasn't so sure, but then he just hands me the mic. So I'm like, hey. So I address this crowd of like, this is a huge outdoor festival. There's so many people. And I address this crowd. I'm like, I'm like, I was in, protective custody in L.A. County Jail facing 8 years in prison, and they told me that I was in ODB's cell because he was in there so much of the time. So I feel this connection to ODB, and in his honor right now, I just get butt naked, I do my trick, I hug ODB's mom, right? Like after doing it, they start playing Brooklyn Zoo, you know, like a couple of big ODB hits. And like a couple tunes after the fact, all of a sudden, Raekwon just he's had enough. And he comes over and he stops everything, grabs me up by my neck. He says, you're going to apologize or I'm going to fuck you up in front of all these people. And I don't care if I'm going to jail. Like our brother wasn't here to defend himself from that. You know,
whoa,
and I'm like,
dude.
and he's got me by the neck, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm so sorry. You know, and then I apologized, and he let me go, and the concert resumed, and someone came up to us and said, hey, it's not safe for you to be here. You know, you guys. So they had they escorted us away.
He did that in front of everybody.
Oh, on stage in front of everybody, and I have the footage.
Yeah, I've seen the footage. I've been dying to make this video.
See?
I have the
You
footage.
have to post it.
Oh my
I
God.
know. What I need to do is get someone from maybe Raekwon. I don't know. Maybe
Have you talked to him since?
I saw RZA at something, and I just went up to him and I said, "Hey, RZA, like."
Holy
I want to
shit.
acknowledge that, that like to the extent that was disrespectful, man, like I want to acknowledge that was wrong. And
fuck that. You should have doubled down and did it again.
Well, no,
I'm so sick of public apologies. Just be like, hey, I was drunk. I was having a good time. ODB had a sense of humor. Sorry, Raekwon
I mean, dude,
didn't.
to be fair, there was one time I did a show with ODB before he died, and it was at this like Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, and like there were all these different rooms with shows going on. I go into ODB. ODB was on stage smoking a big blunt of pure PCP. And I know it was pure PCP because he said so, and he was sharing it with the audience members. I pulled out my little camera, and I have this footage too to this day.
Moly.
I have this footage of him, and like he's rapping, like there's all these different little clips that I shot on this thing, right? He's smoking the PCP. Then next thing you know, oh, and by the way, he's rapping with his fucking pants down around his ankles, his cock and balls completely out, totally out, and he was uncircumcised. could tell you that because I saw, you know.
He had an anteater?
He had an anteater, yeah. And he's smoking this PCP. He ends up sitting on the drum riser. He's not even rapping anymore. And then he just slumps over and passes out. And I got footage of him like that
stage.
too. Yeah, still holding the blunt. And he's just like, it's like almost like time lapse of him just like.
Where was this?
In New York. In New York in 2003.
And was he on stage by himself?
He was, dude, he had a bunch of, his crew on stage and shit, yeah.
Do you have any Wu-Tang stories, Eric? Like that?
Nothing as close to the power of those.
You got any PCP stories?
Did you ever do PCP?
I smoked PCP when I was 13, I think by accident. I had they called it Cloud 9, like a joint dipped in embalming fluid. And it was one of the first times I ever smoked pot. And I was like, man, weed is crazy. And everything was 8-bit. And then years of smoking weed after through high school, I was like, oh, that wasn't weed at all. But it was my second or third time smoking weed. So
Nice.
I went up to the RZA at a party one time and I was all drunk and embarrassed myself and rapped 6 Bobby Digital songs in his face. And I was like, I'm such a fan. And he was like, oh, okay, that's enough. But that story pales in comparison to the power of both Steve-O's ODB stories. The one while he's alive and the one after he's alive. I don't think that was that disrespectful. I think those guys are just old school. You meant your intentions were good and you were coming.
I think that's right. RZA said not to worry about it. He had never taken it personally. He wasn't offended.
Also,
at the time,
Raekwon was supposedly the grouch of the group, and Raekwon almost left Wu-Tang, and Raekwon and RZA beefed for a long time. So he's kind of the controversial member of the group. I don't think the other guys would have done that to you.
What was disrespectful about it? That you were naked hugging his mom?
I think I put my clothes back on before I hugged his mom.
Okay.
To be fair. I don't think I was that bad.
I think he wanted a sincere, earnest moment. And he's from the projects of Staten Island. And he just sees a naked drunk Steve-O flipping around. And he's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Right,
And no, he wanted to have a sincere, sober, humble moment.
And in my defense,
his emotions are valid too. But if I saw that, if I was dead and somebody was flipping around naked in my honor, I would be flattered.
in my defense, I fucking nailed that shit, dude. How clean was the landing on that flip, Paul?
The landing is good. It's clean. Yeah.
What can you post that video? Why won't you post it?
I could. I just I'm sensitive to the fact of it being I would want the blessing of the Wu-Tang, I would
No, you got to put it out. Okay, blessing.
I kind of want them. I kind of think also, just with my producer hat on, that the story's kind of better without just me telling it. But to get maybe Raekwon, his version of it. It would be really pretty compelling if it was a little bit of a group effort.
Yeah, we got to do it justice.
It's an intense story, dude. It's been on my whiteboard for a long time. With different names.
Where do you live? Where do you live, Steve?
I live by Lake Hollywood.
What's your address?
You want to get your address and his social while you're at it?
You show us that contract. I'll give you my address.
If you reached out to Raekwon, you were like, "Yo, what up? Hit me up." Would he be like, "Oh, he wants to talk to me about that"?
It would be obvious, and I've seen interviews where Raekwon was talking about it, and he carries a grudge about it. He's not fucking stoked, and I would love it if there was a way to tell the story. I mean, I don't need to look good in it. I don't care. I was completely humiliated, and I'm okay with that. But I'd love it if we could bury the hatchet.
I think fan the flames of hatred. I want to blood.
Yeah,
I want to throw
He's
gas
got the
on
Jeff
the
Tremaine
fire.
hat on over here, dude.
Yeah, reach out to him, have him calm down.
Let's prank him.
Q&A to camera. And then prank him. Come out behind him with your balls, with the mangina, right behind his like head and like tap him on the shoulder with like your erect penis, like throbbing veiny boner.
Not gonna happen.
Like,
I'm on a spiritual path, Eric. Thank you so much for watching this clip. And guess what? I have the number 30 ranked hot sauce on all of Amazon. It's called Steve-O's Hot Sauce for Your Butthole. And if you go on Amazon and type in Steve-O's Hot Sauce for Your Butthole and order yourself a bottle, you'd be really helping me, because right now we're ranked number 30 on all of Amazon, and if you buy a bottle, we might go up the ladder, and that would mean a lot. So please get on Amazon and buy Steve-O's Hot Sauce for Your Butthole. Yeah. Yeah, dude.